Hey everybody, welcome back to the Gamers Vault, and I'm your host, James. Guess what? So we got a couple things we can talk about today. This is not going to be a modding video. The last couple of ones have been, such as the light gun, that you guys remember from the Ultimark. Just a side note for the light gun, you can, calibrate it, right? Excuse me. All you got to do is install the software for the Ultimark. Once you install that software, you hold down the trigger button for 4 seconds. Just hold it down. And then it'll take you to a calibration mode, which you can then use the light bar that I show you. And on that light bar, you just go click, click, click on your screen. You're done. That's pretty much where it is. Also, on the light bar, let's see if I draw a picture right here. And you'll notice on the light bar, the light bulbs go up and then out. You want to make sure they are out. Don't leave them standing up, because it's just not the way you do it. You're gonna be off on your gun, and you don't want to be off on that gun. So that's pretty much how the Ultimark light bar works. Please keep in mind the one that they give you with the kit only is for like a smaller size to mid-range televisions. If you do have a 55-inch like I do, you're going to have to get the longer light bar. You can pick that up from Ultimark as well. They do sell it separately. So keep that in mind. Anyway, let's talk about the new topics. The next topic we're going to talk about is Sony. So we're, as you guys know, a couple of weeks away from E3, and a lot of things are going on between Sony, Nintendo, Microsoft. Each one of them are announcing different game titles. There was a leak recently through Walmart for Bethesda's game titles. So Bethesda's kind of, they're not officially out of the bag, but in the same token, the beans were spilt on certain games. So we do know we are going to get Rage. I know a lot of you guys have played that game in the past, and it was actually pretty decent. So we're probably going to get something like that, and a couple of other different titles. Sony hasn't announced anything Bethesda, hasn't announced something really big right now, but people are hinting to two things. Fallout 3, that one, is going to be remade to the Nintendo Switch. What isn't going to be remade to the Nintendo Switch? Nintendo Switch is going to have almost every title there. So, Nintendo Switch, pretty much open. Here we go. So, definitely going to take my money on that. I'm definitely going to pick that up. So, if you haven't picked it up, haven't picked up a Switch yet, where the hell have you been? You need to get a Switch. Get on the train, guys. Let's go. Everyone all aboard. The next thing we're going to talk about, and I've been saying this to everybody, I've been telling you all of this since the beginning. Sony is announcing the end of the production of the Vita. So we're going to go to my other screen now and check it out. Alright guys, so as you can see, well, that's not the one we're talking about yet, but Sony, here we go. Sony's ending the physical production of the Vita games. Although the hardware manufacturer says digital distribution will continue, this move will make the end of the physical cards for the maligned portable game system. So, guys, what does that mean? That means no more physical games are going to be produced for this console. They're pretty much going to end it. So if you have any locals near you now, start picking up the game titles that you want, because they're going to start to have little to none out there. Come on, guys. You know what that means. There are some hidden gems in the Sony. I have 44 Vita game titles for my console. Anyway, let's continue. Sony America and European branches plan to end all Vita game card production by the close of the fiscal year of 2018. The company told developers today in a message by Kotaku. The message asked that all Vita product codes requested be submitted by June 28, 2018. And that the final purchase orders be entered by February 15, 2019. Sony's 2018 fiscal year will end March 31st, 2019. It's been a long and strange life for the PlayStation Vita, a system that launched here in 2012 with the slogan "Consoles Gaming on the Go," but quickly lost ground to the mobile and tablet gaming, along with the surge of Nintendo 3DS. Sony's baffling decision to only support its expensive proprietary memory cards made the system pricier than it needed to be, and big studios quickly dropped support. Although the system remained consistently popular in Japan, Sony's North America and European branches all but ignored it after its first 2 years on the market, and has been floundering ever since. The Vita has become a treasure trove for JRPGs, niche Japanese titles, and indie games. Although the mantle has since been seized by Nintendo's mega popular Switch, we've stepped closer to saying goodbye. Alright, so, guys, to give you a brief synopsis, the Sony Vita was popular. What happened is Sony's bitching. I'm saying it straight out. Sony is bitching about that the Switch took over their ground on top of the... not the Switch took over the ground. I apologize. This isn't in the ad. The tablet and mobile gaming took ground. And then the Switch. Sony, I've said it to you before. I'm going to say it to you again. Your proprietary memory cards killed the Switch. Not Switch. Oh, wow. I'm screwing myself up. They killed the Vita. If you didn't have $80 cards for 64 gigs RAMs, that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. Did you expect people to continue to pay that? No. Don't give me the baby crying crap, because honestly, with all respect, you don't deserve that. We don't deserve the freaking crap that's coming out of your guys' mouth. Either way, it is a sad day to see that console go, guys. It's a great console. As you already seen on this channel, I not only own a Vita, I own the Vita TV. I own one modded and one not modded. So, take that with a grain of salt. If you guys go into your thrift shops, your GameStops, your whatever you get into your locals, and pick up Vita cartridges now, there are some hidden gems in the Vita games that no one's picked up. Pick them up now, because you heard what Sony said. They're going to end physical editions, physical copies of those games. They're going to end them, meaning that you're not going to get physical copies soon. Pick them up. Trust me, you will regret it. Anyway, let's move on to something a little different. The first screen I had showed you guys. We're going to talk about Nintendo's president. So, as you guys know, the president right here, Tatsumi Kashima, if I'm saying it wrong, I apologize, took over for our beloved and long-lost Satoru Iwata. When Satoru Iwata had, succumbed to his disease, and he had taken over to be president. But, turns out, he is retiring, and he's going to give the presidency to the guy on the left, Shintaro Furukawa. I'm saying it wrong, right? I don't know. So, let's read a little bit about it. Nintendo's next president, like Golf's story, lived in Germany for 11 years, and as his famous dad. Last week, as it reported its stellar results from the previous fiscal year, Nintendo announced that its current president, I'm not going to say his name again because I'm not going to be embarrassed, who assumed office in 2015 following the death of Satoru Iwata, would step down and replace with Shintaro Furukawa. Wow, I'm saying that wrong so bad. A Nintendo executive who has been with the company since 1994 and serves on the board of directors. Pending the approval of the company's shareholders, Furukawa will assume office on June 28th, with Kimishima staying on as an advisor. Nintendo has very few presidents since its founding back in 1889 as a playing card company. Furukawa is only the sixth to take the helm. Furukawa is a very nice guy who gets how the industry is changing. One game industry source who has met with many times over the years told Kotaku the incoming president realizes, he said, that games as a service models and mobile games are becoming increasingly important, and that Nintendo isn't making as much money as it could in those areas. It's clear he wants to fix mobile, said the source, and hence side games deals in which Nintendo will partner with massive Japanese mobile game makers to release a free-to-play RPG called Dragalia Lost this summer. I don't know what that game is, guys. It remains to be seen Furukawa will put himself in public spotlight in Nintendo Direct videos, on stage appearances, as Iwata did. I'll take more behind the certain curtain roles as he did as his immediate predecessor. It may be a bit early to tell, but if you ask me, I'd say we'll see a lot of Furukawa in the years to come. Here's what we know about Nintendo's next president so far. So here's what we'll know about the new Nintendo president. As you guys know, before I read that, as you guys know, Nintendo presidents, they tend to stay in the background. They never come out. I mean, Satoru Iwata kind of broke the mold a little bit when he did Nintendo Directs. He took a more of a frontline role. And I'm referring to Nintendo presidents for Japan only, and not Nintendo of America, because we know Reggie Fils-Aimé. Yes, Reggie. I can hear you. We know he comes on the screen a lot. So, we're talking about the Japanese presidents. They don't tend to be on front, except for Satoru Iwata. He's actually always been around. So, let's take that with a grain of salt. They don't know how this president's going to be. So, let's go a little bit and see what Kotaku says about him. He's young. Of all 9 current members, all men of Nintendo's board of directors, the 46-year-old Furukawa is the only one born in the 1970s or later. The appointing of a young president is actually not that strange for Nintendo, though. Satoru Iwata assumed control of the company at just 42 years old in 2002, and he wasn't even the youngest president. Hiroshi Yamauchi took over his family business when he was just 22. What's interesting about Furukawa is that he's the first Nintendo president who is younger than video games, and that means he's a lifelong gamer, which is a good thing. I grew up playing the Famicom and come from the generation, Furukawa said at the news conference last week, as quoted by the Wall Street Journal. Now, as a member of the management with Super Mario's creator Shigeru Miyamoto, I have a lot of respect for him. So I'm showing you what it looks like. Sure, it's tough to imagine any Japanese kid born in the 70s or 80s not growing up playing the Famicom, the Japanese version of the Nintendo Entertainment System, but apparently Furukawa never quit. I have to ask many members related questions, but there have been so many times in the past when I ended up spending so much time chatting about games. One analyst told the Journal. When asked at the conference what games he enjoys, Furukawa didn't just toss off the names of Nintendo's biggest hits. He actually named it Check the Cult indie hit Golf Story. I never heard of Golf Story, which is even well less known in Japan than it is here. That's a gamer right there. So I'm not going to go in too far. I'm going to talk about his credentials. That is an animator. So it does look like he is a younger president. According to what I understand, he does speak some English, which is a good thing to cater towards us Americans out here, or United States, and of course the European cultures, that he could speak English as well as Japanese, which is a good thing. A lot of Japanese, they feel that their English is not that good, so they try not to speak it. Shigeru Miyamoto does his best, but even with him, he has to flip back to Japanese sometimes. So overall, we are getting a new president for excuse me, for Nintendo, and I think he takes the reins. Starts taking the reins next month. Now, I don't understand, as a gamer, guys, I don't understand how people like the mobile market as far as my cell phone. I don't see my cell phone as a way to play video games. I like the Switch. That's a great idea. I could take it on the go, or I can dock it and play it anytime I want on my TV. That's a great concept. Sony. Follow the lead. Sony. Because Nintendo is smacking you. Anyway, so that's what we got as far as those two news are concerned. I do have one last piece of news before I end today's news episode of the Gamers Vault. And you guys may have guessed it, and I've been covering it for a while. The Dreamcade replay. Mike has done an update as of today, and we're going to go over his update on my Kickstarter page. So let's go over there now. As you can see, there's the Dreamcade replay. Final assembly underway. The first units started rolling off the production line just a couple hours ago, and packing and shipping starts tomorrow and should be completed by Friday. So he's going to show us. I'm going to do a quick video so you guys can see it. It's just he's showing us the actual process of them putting it together. So there you go. He goes, I've been managing to post something for everyone the last 2 or 3 days, but we've been firefighting mode since I've arrived in China. Just little things, but little things that anyone could have been delayed. So here's another one. He's going to show us another video. Sorry about the loud noise. Let's lower that. So this is like a board machine there. So there you go. Final product. So as you can see, it's actually coming along well. So let's see what he says. A good example of this was the instructions. They have been printed and completed a week ago, but asked for custom size manual, and so the manufacturer used a different printer that they have never used before. So Jay, my translator, and I spent a day visiting printers to find the one that could get the manuals printed in just 3 days. Excuse me, we found one, but we had to rush to reformat the manual to A3 size. The good news is, production wasn't delayed due to the manual or any other things we had to quickly address. We also spent the part of the day visiting international express shipping companies with the hopes of finding one to ship everyone their replay directly from China. Despite our best efforts, we won't be able to do this. The cost is almost twice as much as we estimated for this type of express air freight. So international backers will get their units shipped directly from China, but not USA backers. Instead, we are airmailing about 10% of the replays via DHL Express. This means while most backers will have to wait a couple of weeks more, some lucky ones, there's about one in a 10 chance that will get their replays early. There's a lot more I'd like to share, but there's still tons of things we need to get done to ensure the first replays can start to ship out over the next several days. As always, there's more information on the community site. So you haven't been to the community site, guys. If you go over to the replay site, which is where I go to get everything, they have all this information. As you can see, there's some additional photos here so you guys can take a look. This is what it looks like. That little black thing that's right over here, that shows a wireless card. These are wireless cards, so they can be wireless. Look at the chip. The chipset's right there. The processing chipset. Excuse me, I'm going to get something to drink real quick. Sorry. The USB ports that he was talking about. These boards are looking really nice. Custom. There we go. Let's go a little further down. I don't know. It looks like USB dongles from what I can see here. And here is the manual. Dreamcade Replay Quick Start Guide. Please read this section before turning on your replay. And here are the decals that they promised us. So they give us some decals here. I don't know about the decals. I may keep mine the way it is. But either way. So there you go. That's pretty much how it is. It looks so good. Just to keep it a reminder for you guys. I want to go back to my main screen here. Just to keep it a reminder for you guys. So we know that they're coming out. We also know that it's not long now, but just keep in mind, guys, it's going to take some time still. He is starting to roll him off the line. He is hitting his target roughly, but he's hitting his target. Hopefully, I do get a replay soon. If I don't, I'll wait. I mean, I'm sure people will get it before me, because there's definitely bigger YouTubers than my channel. But if I do get it, I promised you guys, and I will. So I will open it live. I will set it up live. I'll even set up my new joystick that I showed you guys that I modded. So if you haven't checked it out, please check it out on the video. I think I'll try to link it down below. If not, I'll put it in one of the cards. And I also will try out my my zapper. I definitely upgraded my zapper to something a little bit different than the Sega Master System zapper, but I'm not going to go over it here. I'll do that at a later date. I really don't want to do that right now. Either way, guys, thank you so much for coming to my channel. If you haven't actually subscribed, subscribe down below. Ding that nice little bell button that we have there, because not for nothing, that does help you get the latest videos when I do come out with them. Either way, guys, I will see you next time.
It's a problem as old as gaming itself. Stay home and just keep playing. Or get to work on time so your coffee breath boss doesn't ride you like a rented scooter. Who says you have to choose? Your PS3 stays home, but the game goes with you. Never stop playing. PlayStation Vita.